Hi everyone, here's some of what's heading your way tonight. Your news at 9.
Vaccine rollout is underway, but the pace has been sluggish. I'm Chris Warner with how long officials in Missouri think it will take to get everyone that's currently eligible vaccinated.
New coronavirus infections are declining as the nation's vaccine rollout ramps up. I'm Jonathan Seri in Atlanta. I'll have details coming up.
President Biden's pick for Education Secretary testifies before Congress. I'm Lauren Blanchard in Washington, plus more on the debate on school reopenings coming up.
Doug Kenny is weather. Jacob Leonard has sports. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jordan Albee. As the vaccine rollout continues, the pace isn't exactly what officials are hoping for. KOAM's Chris Warner spoke with 2 local health departments for more on how the vaccine rollout is progressing.
We spoke with the directors of both the Jasper and Newton County Health Departments. Tony Moore on the Jasper County side says the vaccine process itself has been smooth, but not without challenges.
It's been going pretty well. I mean, I think this vaccine, as compared to others, is a little more challenging in that trying to distance out people to try and get your social distancing as well as you can.
Moore's counterpart, Larry Bergner in Newton County, says their process has also been going smoothly, but there's a problem.
We still have a supply problem.
It's that problem that's causing issues getting everyone currently eligible vaccinated in a timely fashion.
We're hopeful that by summer we can have that group vaccinated. Now, I'm telling folks who have registered with us that we hope to get to that group within the next month and a half.
I agree with Larry. I believe, depending on supplies, it could take several months.
The federal government says that they plan to get more vaccine to pharmacies across the country, which both agencies are hopeful will help increase the number of people vaccinated.
Yes, that is a hope that more providers will be coming online and that the vaccine will be distributed more broadly so that we have more opportunity within each county and each city within the county for those folks to get vaccinated without having to drive a great distance.
I'm Chris Warner for KOAM News.
Remember, for the latest vaccine resources, just head over to our website. See it right there, KOAMnewsnow.com, and click on the vaccine banner at the top of the page. A warning from the Better Business Bureau for people who have gotten a COVID-19 vaccine. Do not post any pictures of a vaccine card you received showing you are vaccinated. If you got the card, you know what it is. There's been cases of people using these cards and selling them online with a new name. The BBB says this type of scam is currently happening in Great Britain, but if it can happen overseas, it can happen here. Joplin Health Department reports 7 more deaths attributed to COVID-19. Patients were 4 females ages 74, 85, 86, and 91, and 3 males ages 75, 78, and 89. 2 were long-term care residents, including the 91-year-old female, also the 89-year-old male. This brings Joplin's total COVID-19 attributed death count to 122. The Newton County, Missouri Health Department reports 3 more deaths, 2 females, 1 in her 60s, 1 in her 70s, also a male in his 80s. This brings Newton County's death toll to 76. Finally, the Crawford County, Kansas Health Department is reporting 28 more COVID-19 deaths. But they say these are not all new deaths. The health department says there was a reporting error due to deaths occurring out of state or at KU Medical Center. Crawford County now reports 64 total deaths. The U.S. is seeing progress in its fight against the coronavirus, averaging fewer than 150,000 new cases a day now. This coming as the White House takes new steps to expand the vaccine rollout. Fox News correspondent Jonathan Seri has more.
New coronavirus infections and hospitalizations are declining in nearly every state. The CDC reporting the average daily case total dropped by about 13% last week to pre-Thanksgiving levels. But with more than 30 states reporting cases involving COVID-19 variants, public health officials say now is the time to increase mitigation efforts.
Now is not the time to let our guard down. Keep taking steps to protect each other. Wear a mask, maintain social distancing.
Meanwhile, the nation's vaccine rollout is ramping up. White House officials announcing today the U.S. is averaging 1.3 million vaccine shots per day.
We'll continue to have supply increases. As you know, we're also beginning to ramp up an initial phase with the pharmacies. So we are confident that there is going to be an increase in supply.
And Johnson & Johnson is getting closer to submitting for emergency use authorization. The drug maker plans to hand clinical trial results over to the FDA this week with the hope of getting approval by March. Despite having a lower efficacy rate than other vaccines, the company says its formula offers complete protection against death and hospitalization.
We can still protect regardless of age, risk factor, ethnicity, geography, and strain. And that gives the vaccine in a single dose, easy to use, a very important role in combating the pandemic in the world.
If approved, Johnson & Johnson expects to supply the U.S. with 100 million doses by the end of June. In Atlanta, Jonathan Sering, Fox News.
Doug Heddy joining us now with the first look at the forecast. Nice, mild day today, but it ain't going to last, is it?
No, of course, we got a cold front that is going to be rolling in over the next few days. Cold start, though, 33 during the morning hours. We did make it up to 63 during the afternoon. So with the winds, strong southerly winds really helped our temperatures warm up for us today. We do have a lot of clouds, which are increasing now, and this is going to continue as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight with our next storm system, which is brewing. You can actually see it back to our north and to our west. Some rain, even a little bit of snow has been mixing in across the northern parts of the plains, and it's that system that is going to head toward us later on tonight. Temperatures right now, most of us are hovering right around 50 degrees, and we're not really going to drop off through the overnight hours. We're going to hold fairly steady, but a lot of changes moving in. We're going to look at all that coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Doug, thanks so much. Why do so many schools across the country remain closed? What's it going to take to reopen them? That's the hot topic around the country and at the confirmation hearing on Capitol Hill today for President Biden's nominee for Education Secretary. Fox News correspondent Lauren Blanchard has more from D.C.
The president's nominee to lead the education department being tested by lawmakers. Miguel Cardona faced questions about how he would lead the nation's schools, but senators particularly focused on how to reopen classrooms, protect students and teachers, and help students make up for nearly a year away from the classroom, as some school systems say all students and teachers need to be vaccinated before returning to in-person learning.
We all want to make sure we can get our students back into school safely.
The CDC director said teachers don't need the vaccine for schools to be safe.
Vaccination of teachers is not a prerequisite for safe reopening of schools.
Republicans have accused Democrats and President Biden of bowing to pressure from teachers' unions.
Look, if you're not going to go back to class, you shouldn't get some of this $110 billion that the Senate has put in the pipeline.
Despite negotiations, some unions have refused to move away from remote learning.
We certainly hope and encourage progress on that front, but the president's focus is on the schools reopening safely.
In Congress, they're debating another round of stimulus. The president's proposed COVID relief bill has $130 billion allocated to schools.
This rescue package will include resources for schools to make that happen quicker.
Science is not the obstacle. Federal money is not the obstacle. The obstacle is a lack of willpower.
The CDC says their studies show the virus does not spread in schools when students and staff wear masks, social distance, and there is proper ventilation. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
Today marks 2 weeks since President Biden has been on the job, and now he's being criticized by Republicans for not being more open to a smaller coronavirus relief package. Fox News correspondent Ray Bogan is in Washington with the latest on where negotiations stand.
The cremated remains of Officer Brian Sicknick left the Capitol building after he became just the 5th American to lie in honor in the Capitol Rotunda. Sicknick died from severe head injuries he sustained protecting Congress during the January 6th riot.
A hero proved in liberating strife. Lord, Brian indeed more than self, his country loved.
Lawmakers paid their respects throughout the morning, but immediately returned to work on a coronavirus relief package.
I will get Republican support.
President Biden had a group of Democratic senators over to the White House to discuss his $1.9 trillion proposal. He also told Democrats on a conference call he remains open to negotiate, but he doesn't want to change the size and scope of the package and won't budge on the $1,400 stimulus checks.
We are united as one for a big, bold package, working with our Republican friends when we can.
When he can may be never. Senate Democrats began the budget reconciliation process with a 50 to 49 party line vote, which could ultimately lead to a final package being passed with the same result. Some Republicans interpret that as an our way or the highway approach.
The new president talks a lot about unity, but his White House staff and congressional leadership are working with a different playbook.
Republican Senator Mitt Romney says if President Biden's plan moves forward as is, he doesn't expect a single Republican will vote for it. In Washington, Ray Bogan, Fox News.
KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 takes this time now to honor one of our four-state heroes. Leonard Browse served in the U.S. Air Force from 1969 to 72. We are proud to thank Sergeant Leonard Browse, a native of Liberal, Missouri. He's tonight's four-state hero. Doug is up next with a complete look at the forecast. A bit later in sports, it's National Signing Day. Going to hear from high school athletes across the area taking their skills to the next level.
Well, it turned out to be a great day for us today. Temperatures fantastic as we warmed all the way up into lower 60s for highs. Very windy across the region, but really just a great day. Plenty of sunshine. And of course, when you warm up this much in the winter months, you always know that you're going to go the other direction as you work into the next couple days. And that's what we're going to do as we head into Thursday. But at least nice shot of Indigo Sky Casino and Resort just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Let's go ahead and zoom in. Temperatures for us today. Look at this. Most of us lower 60s, very strong southerly winds. We just really haven't dropped off much. Most of us are 50 to about 52 degrees, and we're going to get back into the upper 40s a little bit later on tonight, and then we're going to warm briefly back into the 50s for us tomorrow. But the winds are strong. Look at these strong south winds at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. And then we've had gusts a lot higher than that as we have worked through the afternoon into the evening hours. So it is going to stay windy for us tonight. A lot of clouds starting to thicken up, just not much underneath the clouds. But here comes that next storm system. You can see it out across the western high plains, and it's going to slide in for us later on tonight. And with it, we're already seeing some rain and snow. It just doesn't have a lot of moisture to work with. So it's not going to give us a lot of rain or a lot of snow. It's going to be very minor as this cold front starts to head toward us. But the strong southerly winds ahead of the front, and then you get the northerly winds and the colder temperatures behind the front. And that's what we're going to see on Thursday. For us tonight, the clouds really just kind of thicken up. We'll get a few random showers in here late tonight into tomorrow morning. Here's 8:30 in the morning, some showers, but you can see the front is working through. Look on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side, the winds have now switched out of the northwest, so our temperatures will start to drop. So we have the light showers working through. Most of these are going to be out of here by late morning. There may be a flake or two mixed in with it, but most of the snow will stay to our north and to our east. And then as we head into the afternoon hours, our temperatures really just kind of continue to tumble most of the day. We'll probably drop back near 40 by noon, and then maybe with some sunshine kind of rebound back into lower 40s late in the day. Pretty much clear skies for us tomorrow night as we head into Friday. Friday, not a bad day, partly sunny skies. Temperatures a little bit cooler as we stay mainly into the upper 40s. So let's head into the weekend. Here comes our next little wave. This is going to be on Saturday, and I think most of the snow is going to stay east of us, but we are going to have at least slight chances we could get a little bit of light snow Saturday afternoon as an Arctic front kind of hangs out on top of us. It just kind of sits right over us on Sunday, so we'll have some clouds, and then it surges back south on Monday, giving us possibly rain over to snow, so a lot to watch over the next several days. 53 and dropping tomorrow, 48 on Friday, 45 Saturday, Super Bowl Sunday, 38, partly sunny skies, rain and snow chances back in on Monday and Tuesday of next week.
The nice stuff just doesn't stick around.
No, it really doesn't. Not in February.
Yeah. Doug, thank you. We'll catch you in a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Coming up, what led to deadly gunfire in Florida?
New details in the investigation that left 2 FBI agents dead. I'm Steve Harrigan in Sunrise, Florida. That story ahead.
2 FBI agents are dead, 3 hurt in a reported ambush. New developments today on what led to gunfire as we learn more about the heroes killed in the line of duty. Fox News correspondent Steve Harrigan has more from Sunrise, Florida.
Police honor the 2 FBI special agents killed while serving a search warrant at a home in South Florida. Both remembered for dedicating their lives to fighting crimes against children.
It takes an incredibly special person to answer the call and do the heroic work of an FBI special agent. It requires self-sacrifice. It requires putting oneself in harm's way, not once, but again and again.
Special agents Daniel Alfin and Laura Schwarzenberger were killed just before dawn on Tuesday. Both agents had a history of investigating child pornography and sexual exploitation cases. 2 other agents were shot multiple times and transported to a local hospital. The other injured agent had his wounds treated at the scene. The suspect was under investigation for child pornography possession. He barricaded himself in an apartment for several hours. According to the Miami Herald, the suspect fired on the officers with an assault-style rifle through an unopened door as they approached the residence. He was watching them approach on a doorbell camera. The suspect later killed himself. Police officers from multiple agencies shut down a number of streets in the middle-class neighborhood located west of Fort Lauderdale.
It's unfortunate that these 2 fine FBI agents, lost their lives, and my heart goes out to their families and all the condolences. We as Americans need to be really grateful for that thin blue line that keeps us safe.
Officials are calling it a dark day, one of the deadliest in FBI history. In Sunrise, Florida, Steve Harrigan, Fox News.
Just ahead, we're going to hear about the world's first in the medical field.
A 22-year-old man is recovering after undergoing an extremely rare and risky surgery. I'm Marianne Rafferty with details on what may be the world's first successful double hand and face transplant. Coming up.
A young man is relearning basic skills after undergoing an extremely rare, high-risk and complicated surgery. A team of surgeons at NYU performed a combined face and double hand transplant, hoping to give the patient a new chance at life. Fox News correspondent Marianne Rafferty has details on his promising recovery.
Joe DeMayo is learning how to use his hands again. The 22-year-old from New Jersey was severely burned in a car accident in 2018. Now he's recovering from a rare double hand and face transplant.
Lift some weights, do a lot of cardio, walking, squats, a lot of fine motor stuff.
DeMayo was driving home from the night shift when he fell asleep and crashed his car, which flipped and burst into flames. He survived but suffered extensive injuries, including burns on 80% of his body.
And I had like little slits in my eyes, so it was like looking through like a chain fence.
In order for DeMayo to regain full vision and use of his hands, doctors knew they had to perform the risky surgery, but struggled to find a compatible donor. The pandemic further complicated the donor search and eventually the transplant itself.
We had to recycle our PPE. We had to pare down the number of people that were in these practice runs. So it not only strained the ability to find a donor, but it also strained our team.
DeMayo has been in physical therapy for about 6 months. Doctors say he's been adapting surprisingly well to his new hands and face, with no clear signs of rejection.
The fact that patient 6 months later is starting to use the hands and is doing well is tremendous success and first of its kind in history.
Simultaneous hand and face transplants have only been attempted twice in history. If DeMayo continues to regain function, this will be the first successful operation of its kind. Marianne Rafferty, Fox News.
Isn't that amazing? All right, when a city wants to make a big impression, hoping to host the Super Bowl, they design a logo. Gonna meet the intern. right there, who made a lasting impression in Tampa Bay. That right there is the official logo for the Super Bowl host committee, and it was designed by that woman right there, an intern on her first day. Passionate Seviroch was working at a Tampa-based advertising agency, and little did she know, on her first workday, she'd be asked to draw up some designs for football's biggest event. And little did she know, her artwork would generate waves, with the Super Bowl host committee selecting it to be their official logo. That pretty much fits the definition of making a big first impression, right? Good for her. 30 more minutes, news, weather, and sports coming away.
2020 was a rough year for businesses across the country, but the Pittsburgh Area Chamber of Commerce says all things considered, things weren't that bad in Pittsburgh. And they've got the numbers to back that claim up. Details are coming up.
Also, going to go over some changes to this year's Four-State Farm Show that is scheduled to happen. According to the latest quarterly economic report produced by the Pittsburgh Area Chamber of Commerce and PSU, Pittsburgh businesses did an excellent job weathering the economic storm brought on by this coronavirus pandemic. KOAM's Mike Mahoney spoke to the chamber president, also a Pittsburgh business owner, to learn more.
The year 2020 was a rough one for the American economy, but according to the latest quarterly economic report produced by PSU and the Pittsburgh Area Chamber of Commerce, the city of Pittsburgh handled the tough times like a champ.
Our labor force numbers increased. Sales tax collections for 2020 were actually up over 2019. We had several expansion projects.
But that doesn't mean things were perfect in Pittsburgh. The report says the city experienced 34 bankruptcies in the 12-month period ending last September. And the city also lost a local favorite pizzeria as Gusano's permanently closed its doors. But there was no shortage of businesses who came out on top in 2020. And one of them was Riggs Chiropractic, who, despite the pandemic, still moved into a newly renovated Pittsburgh location.
We were very fortunate that people really saw chiropractic as essential and a necessity, and we were able to grow through all of that. We didn't have to cut any of our staff. We never cut 1 hour due to the pandemic.
In fact, Riggs was able to hire last year, bringing in 2 new doctors, and they're hoping to bring in another one in the coming months. As for the city as a whole, the president of the Pittsburgh Area Chamber of Commerce credits the Paycheck Protection Program for helping city businesses survive. But he says that's not the only reason for the positive economic report.
I've got to give a lot of credit to our local residents for supporting local businesses. Pittsburgh is always great about that, but our residents really seem to understand the added importance of supporting local businesses during such a challenging year.
In Pittsburgh, Mike Mahoney, KOAM News.
If you'd like to take a look at the latest Pittsburgh Micropolitan Area Economic Report, we've put a link to it in this article, KOAMnewsnow.com. Over the last year, a lot of planned events have been forced to cancel because of this pandemic, including the Four-State Farm Show in Pittsburgh. Well, today, organizers announced this year's show will be happening, though there will, of course, be some changes.
We're between 400 and 500 on booths sold for this year's show. It's almost 4 months off. I think we'll get to where we were last year, the 700 plus, hopefully 800 plus.
Farm Show will take place at Pitt State's Plaster Center and the nearby parking lot and grounds, as well as the nearby Bicknell Family Center for the Arts. Now, it begins on May 21st. It'll be open on the 21st and 22nd from 8 in the morning to 4 p.m. and on May 23rd from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pittsburgh Company is making downtown a little bit brighter. A big neon sign, look at that, is in the fabrication stage right now with a company called Sign Brothers. Officials say they expect the sign to be a staple fixture of downtown Pittsburgh. Looking pretty good. Also coming to downtown Pittsburgh this year, some new murals. Local artist Jenna Spencer and the Pittsburgh Downtown Advisory Board are teaming up to create the art piece. Spencer is the artist behind 7 Pittsburgh murals, including the Greetings from Pittsburgh mural on the side of the Pittsburgh Area Chamber of Commerce office. He plans to paint 4 new murals this spring and summer.
I like when it connects with the community. So if it's about Pittsburgh or something historic or in a historic building, on a historic building, I really connect with that. So.
The Downtown Advisory Board approved a grant to cover the costs of the murals, and they hope to establish a permanent grant program in the future. Pitt State continues to celebrate Black History Month by highlighting Black authors. The Black Student Association and Axe Library are displaying books that could help readers reflect on Black history. Well, the Chiefs Super Bowl celebrations at area schools keep rolling in. And at Pittsburgh Middle School, students had tailgate party during PE. Students played games like cornhole, frisbee golf, spike ball, and of course, football. One teacher says not everyone in her class is a Chiefs fan, but they all enjoyed a little party time at school. I would too. Hey, all this week, we're bringing you Chiefs-related stories as the team looks to run it back in the Super Bowl. Our coverage will be capped off with a 30-minute special, which will feature new stories with fans in the area and former players, as well as new interviews from stories you'll see this week. The special will air right here on Fox 14 this Friday at 6:30 p.m. Also, our sister station, KOAM, at 6:30 p.m. on Saturday. A bit later, making room on Wall Street for a new generation.
There are new traders in town. I'm Kevin Cork in Washington with the latest on GameStop's stock and what it says about changes on Wall Street. That's coming up.
Well, it turned out to be a great Wednesday for us today. We had plenty of sunshine across the region. A little bit on the windy side. Winds were gusting 25, 30, upwards of 35, but it helped our temperatures go all the way into lower 60s during the afternoon, which, hey, we'll definitely take. Great time lapse. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Look at our highs. Everybody across the region shot way up into lower 60s, and we really haven't dropped off that much. Most of us now are hanging out right around 50. I think eventually we'll get back into the upper 40s a little bit later on tonight, but our temperatures are really going to hold fairly steady as we have a storm system rolling in. These strong southerly winds are going to keep those temperatures up. In fact, they've been increasing just a bit over the past several hours as the sustained winds now are kind of in that 15 to 25 mile per hour range, and that's where they're going to stay for us tonight. Clouds continue to thicken, nothing underneath the clouds. But we do have this developing storm system back to our north and to our west. You can see it rolling into the western high plains. And this system, it's not very strong, and it doesn't have a lot of moisture, but it is going to change our weather up as we go into the daytime hours tomorrow. You can see some snow, a little bit of rain across parts of Nebraska and up through the Dakotas with this cold front that is now sliding into northwestern parts of Kansas and eventually will be here by the time we head into the morning hours. For us tonight, clouds continue to thicken up. Random light little shower could roll in after 4, 5, 6 o'clock. These are going to be very scattered, but you can see the showers trying to develop, especially along the I-44 corridor as that cold front rolls through. So this is at about 8:30 in the morning. Look behind it, you can see the northwesterly winds kind of kicking in, bringing in the cooler air. So we'll be dropping as we go into the afternoon hours. So if we look at your day planner, we'll start at 50, we'll drop near 40, and then we'll rebound with a little bit of sunshine late in the day into the lower 40s. Tomorrow night, pretty much clear skies. We'll drop back into the upper 20s for overnight lows. And then Friday looks okay. Partly sunny, high temps, mainly near 50. Gets tricky by the weekend. We have an Arctic front. This is Saturday. It slides south. We could get some light snow showers with it. The front retreats back north on Sunday, slides back south on Monday, giving us chances for some rain, possibly over to snow, and then really settles in through next week. So here's Tuesday, another wave, and then look at the cold air that just sits on us as we head through next week. So next week is going to be a much colder week. 53 and dropping tomorrow, 48 Friday, 45 Saturday, maybe a few snow showers late. Super Bowl Sunday, 38, and then 42 and dropping again by the time we head into Monday.
You know, really tomorrow the temperature doesn't look that bad.
That's an early morning high.
Okay, yeah, it gets worse, doesn't it? All right.
Yeah.
You had to just bring that up, didn't you?
Had to.
Doug, thank you. All right, coming up in sports, going to check out some college signings in the area on this National Signing Day. Plus, Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes talks about why he's not concerned with comparing his accomplishments to Tom Brady's.
Well, today is a big day for a lot of high school student athletes across the country. Today is National Signing Day. We're going to start our coverage in Webb City. The Cardinals have 8 seniors today signing to continue their careers at the college level. 3 softball players signed today, including 2-time COC Player of the Year Hayden Berry. Gary Clinton, Jason Smith, and Grant Goltra will play football at the next level. Smith to Southern, Goltra to Pitt State, and Clinton to Division I Missouri State.
I recently decommitted from Arkansas State, and that night Missouri State contacted me, and I knew they wanted me because they contacted me that night, and they were relentless about that.
The older I got, and the more I got into football, I'm like, you appreciate quality fans and quality atmospheres, and that's definitely what they have at Pitt State.
I really feel like they know what they're doing right now, and the program's getting right back on track where it needs to be because they've been down, but I really do feel like they're gonna be good.
I really enjoyed playing at Webb City, and it's kind of like that at Central Missouri. I mean, the community. Everybody loves each other there and supports each other and plays for each other, and that's what I wanted.
At Joplin High School, another big signing class. 6 Eagles signed today to play football at the next level. That includes 3, Trayshawn Thomas, Scott Lowe, and Nathan Glades, signing to play at Missouri Southern. Now, Glades was an all-state selection for Joplin last season as both a running back and return specialist.
I chose Missouri Southern because I want to be part of something and change someone's program around, and I want to be part of something that's not like already known for winning. I want to make a difference at a school.
That's something that I've always been a part of since middle school and high school. We've always just been the first group. We got to lay the foundation, so nothing will be new. It's just same thing every day and just working to get better as a team.
On the Kansas side, Pittsburgh's L.J. Butcher is headed to the MIAA. Butcher signs today to play football at Washburn next season. Butcher kind of did it all for the Purple Dragons his senior year. He finished with 305 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns on offense, while picking up 49 tackles and 2 forced fumbles on defense, earning all area honors as a DB.
My goals is just get in there, work hard, and just make a name for myself right from the beginning. Just get all the trust from the coaches as soon as I get there.
16 yards of carry of receptions.
Butcher has been recruited to play safety for Washburn. 4 days. That's all that's left between right now and Super Bowl 55. The Chiefs will face the Bucs on Sunday night on our sister station KOAM, aiming for back-to-back championships. That's a big one for both teams and both quarterbacks. Tom Brady has a shot at his 7th Super Bowl title, while Patrick Mahomes has a chance to get his 2nd ring in just his 3rd season as a starter. Mahomes was asked about closing the gap in championships between him and Brady, and chasing Tom is the best to do it. But like he should be, he's just focused on Sunday's game and not really comparing careers.
I think that's more of a long-term thing than kind of the short-term thing you have to kind of focus on. For me, I'm trying to find a way to repeat, find a way to win a 2nd championship, and find a way to do whatever I can to win with this team. You don't want to look back and have regrets about how you played and how you went about the week of preparing to go out there and play your best football. And then once the end of your career is done, then you can look at those things and see kind of where those moments were in your career where you could have had something or that you executed and you did go out there and get and achieve your dreams.
That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
The GameStop trading frenzy has fizzled down, but it's revealed some major changes on Wall Street. Billionaire investors will not have to battle with a new generation of younger, more diverse traders. Fox News correspondent Kevin Cork has the story.
GameStop stock is plummeting, but its moment in the Wall Street spotlight is far from over. The video game retailer stock falling 60% Tuesday, finishing at $90 per share, just days after hitting a record high. No matter what happens to the volatile stock, financial experts say one thing is certain: young traders are here to stay.
Previously, all these little guys were separate, and they were always, not always, but almost always losing to the big professional institutions. Now they can come together and become a force.
GameStop's record surge was fueled by millions of amateur traders. Many of them share information on the social media platform Reddit, with Robinhood as their trading app of choice. It's an online commission-free trading platform gaining traction among a new generation of traders, thanks to pandemic boredom, extra cash from stimulus checks, and the market plunge last spring.
My Robinhood is my fun investing. So that's where I don't really put any money into Robinhood that I'm not comfortable if I were to lose it.
Online trading is not only more accessible, it also gives users more confidence. With no trading fees or account minimums, the brokerage billionaires aren't the only ones at the table anymore.
It's pushing people into the conversation who might have been excluded before, or pushing people into the conversation who want to make money.
The online trading frenzy could have consequences. Robinhood's CEO is expected to testify before a House committee on February the 18th. In Washington, I'm Kevin Cork, Fox News.
When we come back, we'll look at this year's Golden Globe nominations. Nominees for this year's Golden Globe Awards were announced today, virtually of course. We have a look at who's being recognized at Hollywood's first major award show. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Best Motion Picture. Drama.
The 78th Annual Golden Globe Awards made much more room for streaming this year, with Netflix dominating with 22 nominations in film and 20 in TV.
Please call me Mank.
The streamer's Mank leads all nominees with 6 total, including 1 for Best Motion Picture Drama. It goes for that top title along with The Trial of the Chicago 7, The Father, Nomadland, and Promising Young Woman.
I go to America!
While in the Best Motion Picture Musical or Comedy category are Borat, subsequent movie film, Hamilton, Music, Palm Springs, and The Prom.
2 women running the shop.
Netflix's The Crown reigns among television contenders with 6 nods, including Best Series Drama, where it's up against Lovecraft Country, The Mandalorian, Ozark, and Ratched. Bingeable Best Television Series, Musical or Comedy nominees are Schitt's Creek, Ted Lasso, The Great, The Flight Attendant, and Emily in Paris.
I'm not homeless. I'm just houseless.
The Best Director category for the first time features 3 female nominees: Nomadland's Chloe Zhao, Regina King for One Night in Miami, and Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman. They are nominated with David Fincher of Mank and Aaron Sorkin for The Trial of the Chicago 7.
I'm gonna get me a band and make me some records.
Among individual nods, a posthumous recognition for Chadwick Boseman for his performance in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. During the show, Jane Fonda will be presented with the Cecil B. DeMille Award and Norman Lear with the Carol Burnett Award. What's usually known as Hollywood's Big Party will be led by Tina Fey in New York's Rainbow Room and Amy Poehler at the Beverly Hilton Hotel. It will be the duo's 4th time hosting and the first time the Globes will be bi-coastal when the show airs February 28th. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. Gonna leave you with video of a porcupine at an Alaskan zoo. Be safe. Do this all again tomorrow. See you then.